I'm going to check it from my phone. Okay. I have a plan. Since the chat won't work, I pulled it up on my phone so I can just read off the comments off of my phone. That works, right? It's funny seeing, there's like probably a 5-second delay from my phone to my laptop. Yeah, I don't understand though why like the chat bar doesn't work. It doesn't make sense. Hey Marie, how are you doing? What are you doing tonight? This is my first live feed or live stream, whatever you want to call it. So I'm still trying to learn how everything works. I clearly have not figured out how the live chat works. So I am improvising. But yeah, how are you doing tonight? Fine. Right on. Where are you from? What state are you in? Or country? Yeah, I know it'll get better. The first time I was super blind, I should have planned it ahead of time. I know most people like they'll plan it like a day or two in advance. That way, you know, they'll experiment with it and know how it works and stuff. And I just at the last minute was like, I'm gonna go live. But that's how I am. I'm one of those people that I usually don't think too far in advance before I do something, which has probably caused me to make horrible decisions in the past, but it is what it is. Kansas City. That is cool. So, do you have a loved one that is incarcerated? Husband, boyfriend, fiance, family member? Hold on 1 second here. I know Britt would kill me if I opened her voice memo on Facebook. Okay, give me 1 second. So your husband has been in for 2 years already. Is he in federal or state prison? And how long does he have remaining on his sentence? State. Okay, yeah, my husband is state too. 3 years isn't bad. I've been with my husband for 3 years. Actually, It'll be 3 years on May 10th, and it's actually gone by really quickly. Um, he has a 28-year sentence. So, and he's done a little over 14 years. So we don't have parole in Washington state. So he does have to do 85% of his time. Um, I'm just responding to Brittany. So yeah, he has to do 85% of his time. So he does have 10 and a half years left. Right around that time, he still has some good time that he can try and get back that he lost like years ago. Um, but it's not that much, like maybe 6 months or so. So yeah, I just always say like 10 years. And about, well, it was a little over 2 years ago, we started going through, well, we tried deciding whether he would be eligible for, like, he'd be better off going through resentencing, commutation, pardons, what our options were. And I researched a lot of commutation hearings, like hours and hours of them. And I found a lawyer that way. He is just an amazing stage presence as far as like how he was representing his clients. Just a great, great guy. And so I called him, or actually emailed him, and we just started talking about my husband's case, and if he thought he could be resentenced and this, that, and everything else. And so he took our case, and he doesn't take cases, I guess, that he doesn't think he could win. So May of last year, it was the beginning of May of last year, we actually filed for resentencing, or we started the petition for resentencing. And we just found out like a month ago, maybe. No, it was like maybe 3 weeks ago, 2 or 3 weeks ago, that we have our first court date. For not for resentencing specifically, but for an oral argument, so that it's pretty much like the make or break it case. So we go to court on May 31st, and pretty much our lawyer has 10 minutes to tell the judges why he thinks he should be resentenced, and the prosecutor has 10 minutes to say why he shouldn't be resentenced. And yeah, and then those judges have up to, I think, between 4 to 8 months, or it could be sooner, to decide whether they're going to resentence him or not. But it's been pretty good news for us. We found out that his case is the precedent case for all of the other resentencing cases that are related to his case, which would be just like being young at the time of sentencing and his age not being taken into consideration when he got this crazy long maximum sentence. So that's good, I think. And it just sucks not knowing for sure. I mean, yeah, it's hard not knowing, like, if he's gonna get resentenced or not gonna get resentenced, if he has to do 10 years, or if he only is gonna have to do between 2 to 4 years. So that's probably the hardest thing for me, is just not knowing what's going on. Thank you so much, Marie. I appreciate it. It is definitely a hard road. I met my husband online. I met him through like a pen pal website. So I knew how much time he had when I met him. So it wasn't a surprise or anything like that. But you can't help who you fall in love with. And yeah, I mean, I've got a lot of negativity in the past, but more positivity than negativity. So I just, look towards the future and try and work on positive things while he is incarcerated, and visit him as much as I can, and, you know, and yeah, it's good. It's good. Hey, Josie. Josie. I almost said Josie Grossi from the other night. I forgot who said that to you, but somebody did. I remember. But anyway, that is not a good nickname. That's not your nickname. That's Drew Barrymore's nickname. This is so stupid though that I can't see the comments on my laptop. I actually have to look at my cell phone to read the comments. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So anyway, yeah, I decided to do this because I don't know, Marie, if you've ever seen the After Prison show, Joe Guerrero, but he's been doing a lot of live streaming lately. And I think I've seen, like, I don't think the last couple days he's actually had videos. I think he's been putting just out like live streaming instead. But that man is making a lot of money. He's like, I think he's going for the money. That's why he's doing these live streams, because he's having people donate to him. And I watched one the other day, and I think he said he made like $450 in one day. It was totally crazy. Oh, wow. That's cool, Marie. So you guys met while incarcerated as well. Oh, right on. Thank you, Brittany. But yeah, so I mean, yeah, it's definitely not the ideal, situation. It's not like something, I don't know. Like when you go get your nails done or you go to the hair salon or you talk to an old friend and they're like, "How did you meet your husband?" And they want to hear this great love story. And you're like, "So yeah, one day I was on this pen pal website for prisoners, and I decided to write them, and 6 months later I married him in a prison." Like, it's not the most ideal story, but it's our story, and I guess it's what makes us interesting. We're already interesting, but it just makes us more interesting, I guess. But yeah, so no, it's just funny because I met him, and then 3 months later, well, we started talking, and then 3 months later I actually met him in person, and then 3 months later we got married in the prison that he was at a couple of years ago. And that was an experience all in itself as well, for sure. Hi, India. Welcome to the live stream. How are you doing tonight? Okay, so I'm gonna go back and read some comments. Do I get embarrassed to tell people my husband is in prison? No, I absolutely do not. So I'll tell you one quick story. Um, it was last year, actually, on my birthday. My mother-in-law took me out on her sailboat with some of her friends, and it was just like a cool little trip and day trip or whatever. And she was on the little tugboat or whatever you call it, that's like that's trailing behind the sailboat. She's trying to fix something. And one of her sailing friends was on the boat with me. And so she asks me, "Where's your husband at?" And I had just assumed that my mother-in-law had told her, that her husband or her son was in prison, but apparently she hadn't. And we both just had like this, not, I wasn't embarrassed, but I think the woman was more was embarrassed. I wasn't embarrassed, but I was just like, "Oh yeah, yeah, he's incarcerated." And she's just like, "Oh," and then she got this weird look on her face, and she just like changed the subject. You could tell she was really nervous. Let's see. Hi, Julie. Welcome. Any advice for the LGBT MWI relationships? So, we actually had two guys in our support group who are gay, and they're married to somebody. One wasn't married to somebody that is incarcerated currently, and then the other one, I don't think he was married, but he was with somebody that was incarcerated and had just gotten out of prison. Um, I know I'm not good friends with the guy anymore, but the one who married the gentleman that was still incarcerated, he told me that he had a lot of negativity, just about their situation in general. Um, and I personally haven't had experience, obviously, because I'm not in that community. But, I would just say, like, be proud of who you're with, and support groups, like, really do help, like, tremendously. Um, Secret Wife why do I keep saying the name of the group? Secret Life of a Prison Wife. That's the name of our support group on Facebook. If you go on there, we have over 700 members. We can definitely get you added to the group. And we are just nothing but genuine, authentic, supportive, loving, super funny, hilarious, crazy women. And yeah, I mean, it totally makes a difference having such a supportive like family or group of friends that are there, when you need to vent or about something, or you want to brag about something or whatever, just having that positive support system helps tremendously. So whether you're in the LGBT community or whether you're in, just a heterosexual community, those support groups help more than anything. Definitely. It's something that I go on every day. It's almost like when I wake up in the morning, I check my Facebook, but it's not for like, my regular Facebook timeline. It's for the group, the support group for sure. But I just go on there and, see how people are doing, see if everybody's okay. If somebody's not doing okay, I'll message them and, message them privately or post it in the group and, ask them, what's going on, if they want to talk. But it's just an amazing support system. Okay, let me catch up on some comments. Hey, Erica. I have not. Give me 1 second. I'm going to look at my Instagram right now and see if I can check it out. So it's kind of funny, you guys. I'm super new to everything social media except for Facebook. Like I'd never been on Instagram until, I don't know, 6 months ago, pretty much. And I don't even know how to check messages on Instagram. I will have to check it later. I don't see any messages. But oh, that was weird. Super weird. You know how I was telling you guys, well, some of you guys, that I was in an abusive relationship in 2005, and that's going to be an upcoming YouTube video, is a story like time thing with that whole situation. I just went onto my Instagram, and like the person whose Instagram popped up that I'm following is my psychotic ex that tried to kill me, his mother. Super weird and very ironic, I guess. Anyway, it just popped up, and I thought that was kind of crazy. Okay, so let me get back to comments here. But no, Erica, I'll check after I get off of the live streaming for your message. I just don't want to take a lot of time trying to figure out how to even find the message on Instagram. So yeah, and yeah, I don't get embarrassed. Literally everybody on my Facebook knows that my husband is incarcerated, and they all know that he has a really long sentence. I've never lied or like tried to keep my relationship secret, except for in the very beginning, and that was only for my family. My dad especially, like I didn't tell him I was married until after I got married. And my mom is like, you should call your dad and tell him. And it took him about a year to like warm up to the idea that was my husband was incarcerated. But my mom was actually there when I got married. My brother has never met my husband, but he asked me about him, and everybody is super supportive. I've gotten really lucky in that aspect. Yeah, Ashra, I don't know if that's how you pronounce your name. I'm sorry if I totally butchered that. So I kind of just answered your question. So my mom, I told first, we had already decided we were going to get married, and my mom just happened to be staying with me at the time. And I was kind of like, I wasn't just coming out and telling her, hey, I'm getting married. My fiance is incarcerated. Um, she kind of knew something was up, and she just like blatantly came out and asked me about it. And then I told her, oh, by the way, I've been talking to this guy and he's really great. And I started telling her about him. And then she's like, oh yeah, like where's he at? And then I told her he was in prison, and then I told her for how long. And surprisingly, she didn't freak out. I thought out of everybody, she would have freaked out more than like my dad, more than like anybody in my life. And she didn't. She gave my husband my grandmother's or my great grandmother's uh, wedding ring, and then that's, you know, it's my ring now. So it was super cool. She was there when we got married at the prison. But yeah, my dad, it took him like a year, and my dad still has never met him. My brother's never met him, but my brother lives in Hawaii and I'm in Washington. My dad's in California, and we just don't have a really great relationship too much anymore. He got remarried and he's kind of focused on his wife's life or his wife's family's life. So, yeah, haven't seen him in like 3 years. So I think once he's out, um, obviously I'll go and like, introduce my dad and, my brother and stuff like that to my husband. But they definitely know now that like it's not just like a phase or something. I think my dad might have thought that in the beginning. I think now he knows that I'm like in it for the long haul, like that I truly love my husband and I plan on being with him forever. Marie, I never get embarrassed. It is what it is. It's not their story, it's mine. Exactly. That's how I feel too. Brittany, wait, what? Facebook Live in the group. So, okay, I gotcha. You're like showing everybody in the group the YouTube streaming, I'm thinking. That's what you meant. Hi guys. Um, When I say my hubby's in prison, people start to feel really sorry for me. I'm not sure how to overcome that. So if people start feeling sorry for you when you tell them your husband's in prison, I would just tell them, hey, like, I don't need your sympathy. Like, I'm fine. I wouldn't be with him if I was, unhappy with the situation. Just let him know how you feel. For real. What would you, Josie and Brittany, what would you say to her about that situation if people are starting to feel sorry for her because her husband's in prison when she tells them about it? The disagreements, India. Me and my husband are, I don't know. I know like we're meant to be. We do get in disagreements, not that often though. I've heard of a lot of stories of other relationships where, they're just cursing at each other on the phone and they're hanging up on each other and saying nasty things to each other. And in 3 years, like we have never done that before. There's been a few times where I have definitely wanted to not talk to my husband, not hang up on him per se, but like there's been some moments where he's just got on my nerves so bad and like I was trying to take something seriously and he was joking around and he just wouldn't be serious. And oh, sorry guys, my back. Anyway, I wanted to hang up on him, but I didn't. But we agreed from the very beginning, full disclosure policy, pretty much like brutal honesty with everything. And I think that's how we've kept our relationship really strong. I think if you're in a like disagree, and it depends on the type of disagreement you're having, I guess, like the level, if you will, of disagreement. Like if it's something really petty, I guess, and like small, I would just suggest talking about it and like active listening. Okay, so I'm going to college right now and I'm taking a class on interpersonal communications and I just freaking read about this yesterday. Active listening and be mindful. So be mindful of each other. And this totally plays into real life. When he's talking, like completely listen to everything that he's saying. Like don't think about what you're going to say next. Don't think about how mad you are at him. Just like really try and focus on what he's saying so that way you can take it all in and you can like analyze kind of what he's saying, so you know where he's coming from. And then hopefully when you're talking, he won't be talking. And then hopefully, you can teach him to be mindful of what you're saying and like really listen to what you're saying. And hopefully you guys can come to an agreement in that sense. If it's something where you guys cannot come to an agreement, and me and my husband have had this happen once, I think, since we've been together, which just happened this last year. Um, I Okay, so I stopped talking to him for like 2 days. I didn't answer his calls, which was the worst idea ever. Like, I thought it would make things better. I thought like he would just be like, okay, I'm gonna apologize. Like, I can't go 2 days without talking to her. Like this, I'll just, apologize and it'll be over. Nope, that is not what happened. It just kept making things worse and worse and worse. So what I would suggest doing is not giving each other the silent treatment. Like, definitely you have to work through it, especially if you're in a relationship where your loved one is incarcerated. Like, that's the only way to get through it, is to work through it. No matter if it's like writing a letter, if you can't talk, write a letter to him or write an email to him. I did the email thing. That was like how I got everything out, was through email. But if you have it at the prison that he's at, or the jail that he's at. But yeah, definitely don't do the silent treatment thing, because that shit does not work at all. Okay, let me go read through the comments here. Sorry guys, one second. Yeah, it's funny, Josie. Like, I literally don't go through my normal timeline on Facebook at all. The only thing I go on Facebook for is to go into the group. And I was telling Kevin about it the other day, and he's like, whatever. He's like, I doubt that you do that. And I was like, no, seriously, I haven't seen what your mom, has done, or Kurt, your friend's done in like weeks. Like, I literally do not check up on what anybody else is doing on Facebook. I just go into the group, and like, that is it. Occasionally, I'll check and, on certain people and like see what they're up to. But yeah, like for the most part, like I literally just go on Facebook to go into the support group, and that is it. And if any of you guys don't have a support group and you're interested in joining, you can search for us on Facebook. It's Secret Life of a Prison Wife, and it's on Facebook. You could also email us, secretlifeofaprisonwife@gmail.com. We have a group email account, so it's just the admins that have access to that. And if you have questions, we could always respond to you. But yeah, if you're interested in joining a support group that has tons of support, that has some amazing women that will have you laughing and crying and have you up till 2 in the morning. Sometimes we're up till 4 in the morning. Definitely add us, or like send a request, Sorry, I'm on my bed. That's why my laptop is kind of moving around a lot. So yeah, that's my little plug for our support group. In India, you're funny. You don't know what Instagram is for? Instagram, from what I get, is like just for people to like post pictures, and then like people can like those pictures and like comment on those pictures for the most part. So yeah, that's what I think Instagram is mainly for. Hey Laura, how's it going? India, I think my husband is embarrassed for me to tell people that he is in prison. How long has your husband been in prison for, India? Me and my husband really haven't talked about, like, because I've never been embarrassed of him being there, so we've never really had that discussion. And he's never asked me like if I am embarrassed. He just knows that like I'll like tell anybody, like I'll scream it. I don't care, honestly. But that's just how I am too. I am the type of person, I'm really outgoing and I say what's on my mind, and I could care less. Well, no, I do care what other people think. But like about my relationships, like if somebody doesn't like it, then they don't have to, you know, ask me about, I guess, my relationship. How do you stay motivated to look beautiful every day? Whatever. No. Um, so I talked about this actually in our support group, because I go live quite a bit in the support group. My face, okay, so first of all, I'm 37. I'll be 38 in July. And I grew up in very like warm areas. So I grew up in California. I lived in Hawaii for a couple years. I lived in Tennessee for a couple years, and I just never took care of my skin. So this is with makeup on. Without makeup, without foundation, I have really uneven skin tone, and I do have some sunspots like over the last 4 or 5 years that have like appeared. So I am really right now into finding a skincare regimen that is going to like repair my skin or like at least help my skin a little bit. Because I'm really self-conscious about it. And I did find one. It's called Ole Henriksen, and they have something that's called the Truth Serum. It's like a little bottle. You put it on in the morning after you wash your face, and then there's a moisturizer as well, and you put that on after the serum. And then at night, there's like a night gel that you put on, and then a moisturizer you put on after that. And I do that every morning and every night. And I've noticed a huge difference in the appearance of my skin. I think the appearance of like wrinkles, because I do have, you probably can't tell it on the laptop, but I do have wrinkles on my forehead, and that's usually the only place I have wrinkles. And I do get some bags under my eyes because I have insomnia, but that stuff works magic. It is kind of expensive, but I think it is totally, totally worth it. And then as far as like getting dressed up, I'm like a simple t-shirt and jeans girl for the most part. If I would, I'd be in pajama pants like all day, every day, and like a t-shirt, or a tank top or whatever. But and flip-flops. I'm from California. Like I either went barefoot or wore flip-flops everywhere, like all year round. But I just started an internship last week for my chosen profession, which is chemical dependency counseling. And Monday through Thursday, we actually have to dress up. Friday, we can wear jeans. So that is the only reason that I look somewhat dressed up today. But other than that, the only time that I really, get dressed up, like curl my hair or whatever, and my hair is a mess right now. But the only other time that I like do makeup and get dressed up and curl my hair is when I go visit my husband, which is once a week. Um, but I'm actually going to start seeing him twice a week, so I'm excited about that. So yeah, that is like what motivates me, I guess, to put some makeup on and try and look good. I said my name. It's pronounced Ashura. Ashura, that's pretty. I like that. It's really pretty. Hi, Christy. Okay, Erica, I'm going to read your comment now. So I'm no longer on Facebook, but I really did enjoy the support groups. Now I just follow these videos and the support pages on Instagram. It really does help me through some of the tough times. I'm really glad that you still follow Instagram and like the YouTube videos and that sort of thing. So hopefully you didn't get off of Facebook for like anything that happened in the groups that you were in, because I know some groups can bring a lot of drama, and you can ask any of the admins in the group. They will tell you exactly how crazy it can get. Our group though, like we honestly, like I think we have the least amount of drama of any group, and we don't bring drama into the group. It's usually somebody comes into the group and they bring it with them. We all have so much going on in our lives that's the last thing that we want to deal with is drama. So we just want to have a good time and chat and have some girl talk and talk about how like all of us haven't had sex in forever, and you know what I mean, just talk. And it's crazy, I just noticed there's 12 viewers. That's awesome. But yeah, I'm super glad that you still are being able to follow the videos and that sort of thing. So if you ever have, since you're not in the Facebook group, if you ever have any input on videos that you would like us to do for the YouTube channel, definitely comment on the page and let us know. Or you can email us at the secretlifeofaprisonwife@gmail.com email address and just let us know, maybe it's on parole, which I wouldn't be doing that. I would be having probably one of the other admins that has a lot more experience with that doing that. Stephanie is one of our admins, and she actually has experience with like the halfway house thing and parole and stuff like that. But yeah, Washington doesn't have parole, so I don't know really much about it at all. I mean, very limited information on parole. I could always research and do a video for you, but it wouldn't be authentic, and I would rather have somebody that has experience that's gone through it, do a video on it, to be able to answer questions for other subscribers or members. So yeah, I definitely love feedback on videos and stuff. Because sometimes I like think about it and I'm like, what am I going to do a video on? And sometimes, well, like PTSD, like that's a major one. I'm going to do quite a few videos on PTSD and then some on domestic violence. Because I know there's a lot of women in the prison wife community that deal with those two things. And I've gone through them both personally. And so those are like for sure things that I'm going to do. But as far as like other topics, sometimes you want input from members and subscribers on what they want to see. And I just don't want to like kind of guess like, oh yeah, what about this topic? It might be great. They might like it. I don't want to put something out that you guys aren't going to like. So yeah, definitely getting that input is super cool. I'm the crazy one. You're not crazy, Christy. I showed them how to find you, but my app kept freezing, so I shut it off already. Hi, WDF channel. What did he get convicted of? So my husband, in 2003, he was convicted of, okay, so first of all, he was offered a plea of manslaughter. Originally they'd offered him 7 years at the age of 19, and his lawyer didn't tell him to take it. So he took it to trial because they didn't have any evidence. Took it to trial, and he was convicted of second-degree murder. He got the maximum sentence, which was 28 years. So he got 4 times what he would have gotten with the plea if he would have taken that. And I'm pretty sure like on a couple of my YouTube videos, I do talk about his crime a little bit. Of course, I wasn't there. We've only been together 3 years, and that happened 15 years ago. I think about 15 years ago. So I wasn't there, but I mean, he's told me obviously this whole story, like exactly what happened. It's just not my story to tell, you know what I mean? Like, I don't mind telling you what his crime is and like little bits and pieces, but like as far as like the actual story, that's his story to tell. And so I'm pretty sure like when he gets out, we talked about YouTube, and he's actually really serious about starting his own YouTube channel because he's been in for so long and he has so many stories to tell. And so I will let him tell that, when he starts his own channel for sure. Josie, and tell him that it's a part of your life's plan or God's plan, and you're using it for bettering yourselves. Good advice. So Erica, so this is the first live stream. I just wanted to try it out because I watch After Prison Show. I don't know if you watch that YouTube channel. Super cool guy, Joe Guerrero, and then RDAP Dan. He does live streaming as well, and he deals with more of like the federal prison system and preparing people for that. And they both do live feeds or live streams. And so I know I was thinking about maybe doing it once a week. It's hard to pick a weekend because of visiting. Like I was trying to think about this. Okay. So visiting, like this week, I go to visiting Sunday, Monday, because he is visiting Sunday, and then Monday, anybody could visit. But next week, it'll be Saturday. So I would go Friday, Saturday. So because of that, I think it would be best to do it Monday through Thursday. Or I could change off, like maybe one week I can have it on like a Friday night, and then the next I can have it on a Sunday night. But yeah, still thinking about that obviously because I haven't figured it out yet. But yeah, maybe I'll do it that way because when I do, I'm going to start going, like I said, twice a week to visit, and I'll get a hotel room on those nights that I stay in town there because it's 2 hours from me. I could always do a live stream after I get home from visiting, but it'd be at 8 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. So I don't know if that's too late for those people on the East Coast. But yeah, definitely give me some feedback on what you guys would like to see, and I can accommodate that. All my online classes right now, or all my classes online, are online for school, and I do internship twice a week. right now. I'm not working right now, so my schedule is pretty open when it comes to that. But yeah, I definitely do want to do live streaming at least once a week. I think it just helps bring everybody closer, and it gets a lot of questions answered if you guys have questions about anything related to prison stuff. Brittany, why are you sorry for me? Our situation isn't ideal, but I'm with the man who loves me more than anyone else has. And when we make it through the sentence, we can make it. Yep, that's exactly what I would say, Brittany. That's an awesome answer. I honestly do believe there's like a quote when you look at prison wife quotes, and it does say something like along the lines of like, if we can get through this, we can get through anything. And I totally, totally believe that, because you think about it, it's like almost in a way like a long distance relationship. Like, we can't go and visit them anytime we want. We can't like show affection anytime we want. We can't have sex. Um, we can't be alone ever. There's always somebody watching over you for the most part, unless you're like in California, Washington, New York, or Connecticut and you get family visits. But yeah, for the most part, we're not in control of the situation. It's the Department of Corrections that is, you know what I mean? So it's hard. I mean, if you can get through this situation, you can literally get through any situation. And it is super freaking hard. Like, it's never going to be easy. I think for me, like, I've had at times where I'm like, oh my God, like this has gotten a lot easier. I might say that, but I think what I really mean by that is that I've gotten used to it. I've gotten a routine down. Like, I know that we're going to talk twice a day, one like earlier in the or later in the morning, and once like late at night. I know that I'm going to get an email every day from him except for the weekends because they don't send it. And I know I'm going to go see him at least once a week. I know when I go to visit him, my routine, I go put money on the debit card. I go, put my stuff through the x-ray machine. I go through the metal detector. I know once I get into visiting, I go through the vending machines and I get the food and I sit at the table and I wait for him to come. I mean, it is the most freaking repetitive, repetitive thing ever. But I think having that routine, um, it makes it easier. Like, for me, it does, at least. And I can't talk for everybody, but I think the hardest part is the beginning. While they're waiting to get sentenced, not knowing how long they're going to get, waiting for them to transport from county to whatever prison they're going to be at, waiting for them to be able to make phone calls. You know what I mean? Just all of that really can like take a toll on you and make it hard and stressful. Communication is for sure key. That's why like we try and communicate as much as possible, like with emails, phone calls. We don't write letters too much anymore, like rarely ever at all. And we send cards, for holidays and stuff and presents, but prison gifts. I'll have to post that one time when I do live feed or I keep calling it live feed, live stream. I'll have to show you guys some of the gifts that Kevin has sent me over the years. It's kind of funny because they're all homemade gifts. I know some women, like, their husbands will pay somebody to go buy them roses or get them lingerie or something like that. I don't want him to do that. I would rather have him make me something or like write me a poem or something like that. So I got some pretty original gifts. My husband and I never get off the phone mad. It just makes it worse. Just talk through because all you have it. Yep, exactly, Marie. I completely agree. I have never gone to bed mad at Kevin except for the one time that we got in the argument this last Christmas. But yeah, other than that, it was the worst. It's the worst feeling ever. Like, for me, just knowing that he's like upset with me about something, like, it like hurts my heart. It really does. It makes me feel so horrible. Okay, just looking at comments. Almost 3 years. Yeah, India, when is your anniversary? Our anniversary from when we started talking, which I use that as like our dating anniversary, is May 10th. So we've got like what, 2 weeks, I think, until our anniversary. Like a little less than 2 weeks until our 3-year anniversary. And then our wedding anniversary is on November 22nd of this year. We'll be married for 3 years. Hey, Ash. Thank you, India. I am a super outgoing person. You could ask any of the admins. So the admins that are in our group, because you guys don't know if you're not in the group, are Ashley Anderson. She's in chat right now. Brittany Renee. Who else is in chat? Josie. I don't think Stephanie's in here. Stephanie is one of our other admins. Maddie is one of our other admins. Elle is my, I guess you call it like co-creator. Like Elle and I started the group. And she is in the UK. She lives in the UK, but she's going to be moving to Washington State soon. And what did I say? Elle, me, Ashley, Josie, Britt, Maddie, and Stephanie. Yep, all 7 of us. So yeah, no, we're like a really close admin team, and it's really cool. I really enjoy it. No, but I was gonna say my personality, that's just my personality, I guess. I've just always been this way. I've been a talker. Recently, okay, so I don't know if you guys have ever asked your husbands this or your man this, but I asked him if there was anything that annoys me about him. Annoys me to him. I think I said that wrong. Anyway, he told me that I talk over him, but he said that it doesn't bother him really, because he said that I do it because I get excited. And when I get passionate or excited about something, like I can't hold it back and I just like come out and say it. But also, so since he said that to me like a month ago or maybe 3 weeks ago, I've been really mindful of like when I talk on the phone, I make sure not to talk over him. But then I realized that it's not me talking over him all of the time on the phone. There's like a delay on the prison phones, because he won't be saying anything and I'll start talking and then he'll start talking and then he thinks that I'm talking over him, and then I'll like stop talking again and we'll like go through this whole process, and then finally I'm just like, fuck it, I'm just gonna talk. And if I happen to talk over him, then he can deal with it. He already thinks I talk over him, so it's not a big deal. Sure, thank you so much. You are the second person that has told me that I look younger than I really am. Um, since yesterday. I think Stephanie told me that yesterday. Brittany, yeah, I'm the same way. I only get dressed up for pictures and visits. And well, like when I do videos, I don't want to like look all, you know, like scroungy or whatever. So I try to like dress decent in videos, and like work. If I have to dress up for work, then I try and look decent. Even though I know like, so my job, I'm not a counselor yet. I'm in training. I have to get my full 50 hours, which I'll have next week. But I work with recovering addicts, alcoholics, drug addicts, you name it. And I'm interning at an inpatient treatment facility. So there is like 40 something patients there right now. And they are not at their best, you know, they're like coming in wearing sweats and like t-shirts, or, you know, ripped jeans and t-shirts, and they're like going through withdrawals and they're feeling like crap. And their immune systems are at its lowest, you know, so like half of them are sick and they're on new medications, you know, because they found out they might have some sort of a mental disorder they didn't know they had. And so I guess like I don't need to dress up, you know, or like try to impress them, but I feel like if I do that, like if I show up to work like looking nice, like maybe they'll appreciate it or something. I don't know. I don't know. I'm kind of weird like that. Like I had 2 people today mention something. One patient came up to me and he walked by me during a presentation they were giving, and he told me that I smelled really good, and I was like, oh, thank you. And he was just like super nice about it. And he complimented me yesterday too. And then and he sat next to me yesterday because he said that I smelled good. And the fact that I smelled good like overtook the fact that he probably smelled bad, which was, I thought, super funny. And then today I had another guy that like walked by me and he stopped, and it was in the same presentation, and he stopped and told me that I looked really nice today. and it was super nice. And I don't know if he was hitting on me or if he was just being nice and like complimenting staff because he's trying to get in good with staff, but I'll take it. It was cool. Savannah, you guys are cracking me up with your whole age thing. I wish I was younger than 37. I'm almost 38. Like pretty soon I'll have to say I'm 38. And that is really close to 40. And you guys, I don't even have kids yet. We're not even gonna start trying to have kids until like the end of this year when I'll be 38. So yeah, I mean I feel younger. I don't feel like I'm almost 40, so that's a plus, right? But thank you. I appreciate the compliment. Thank you for posting the Instagram and everything, Britt. Erica, I got off Facebook for personal reasons and I just feel like it's not for me anymore. The only thing I really miss is support groups, but I'm good with YouTube and Instagram. That's cool. Yeah, I've had moments in my life where Facebook, I just get totally wore out on it. And I like really just sometimes I've contemplated getting off of it, but the support groups are honestly the only reason that it's like, that's the only reason I'm on Facebook, literally. How long are your visits in Washington? Savannah. So it depends on the prison that you're at. So the last prison my husband was at, which was in 2015, he transferred January of 2016 to where he's at now. They were from noon until 7, so 7 hours. Now where he's at, I think it's the longest visits that they have in Washington State, but it's from 11 a.m. until 8 p.m. So 9 hours, but give or take like I always say like give or take a half an hour to just get checked in and like, get in there. So I usually run it down to like 8 hours, but still it's a really, really long time. It gives us enough time to like eat 3 meals together. And like we usually play Scrabble. We always play Scrabble. We've worked on essays during visits and got essays completed during visits. So we get our pictures taken. Like, I mean, 8 hours is a long time. It's a full work day. And we can visit, so anybody can visit Friday and then Monday. And then depending on what unit he's in, his visit for each week would either be Saturday or Sunday. So one week it'll be Saturday and then the next week it'll be Sunday. So you can visit a total of up to 3 days a week. And if you come from, I think it's over 300 miles, I want to say it's either 200 or 300 miles away, you can get approved for special visits. So you can actually go for Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. So 4 days. Yeah, India, he makes me things. He loves my, okay, so you guys can't see the full extent of my hair probably because of the stream, but my hair is super long, and so he loves my hair. He loves my neck, and so he's written like an ode to my neck and an ode to my hair, and I think an ode to my eyes or something like that, or my thighs or something. I don't know. He's a writer, so he writes all sorts of stuff. So he's written poems for me. Um, So, like every wedding anniversary, it stands for something. I think the last one was wood, I want to say. And so he actually made me a sundial out of wood. So that was his thing. And then paper, he made me origami, like animals out of paper. So it was super sweet. It'd be really cool for Kevin to do his own channel. Yeah, Christy, he is super pumped about doing YouTube. I told him about the After Prison show and how this guy was like in for a non-violent offense, and how he does his channel, and his is like more geared towards humor and stuff like that, and the stories he tells. And but Joe on the After Prison show was in a minimum security, I'm pretty sure, like most of the time, because it was nonviolent. But Kevin has been in like close custody. He's been max. He's been in the hole for like long stints. He did 1 year stint, one like 9 month stint, another like year and a half stint. So he's told me he's like had stories of riots, and he's had stories of like catching a cell on fire and other people catching a cell on fire, all sorts of like crazy stories. So But he wants to also like do good with it too, as far as like prison reform type stuff. So he wants to like maybe interview other people. Um, Also, he said that like other guys that he was incarcerated with, like he would, get them on the show and the YouTube channel, and like, they would talk about like, story maybe, between the two of them that happened. And then he'd have some tattoo stuff because Kevin's got like one full sleeve and then he's got a half sleeve, and he's like pretty much tatted up everywhere but his back and his neck and his face. Um, 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 um. That's sweet, Brittany. Yeah, our first wedding anniversary, Kevin's mom bought me like a dozen roses, which was super cool. I thought it was sweet. Anniversary is April 10th, just a few weeks ago. Oh, congratulations on your anniversary. Hey, Ari. My husband is not in prison, but he is in jail. I'm going to be 3 months. And he had court today. He pled guilty, and now they will transfer him to a different jail far from me. People tell me I'm so young to be going through this. 23 years old. Good one. Good outcome will come from this. We celebrated our anniversary through phone visit. It was sad because this was never planned. I'm trying my best to stay strong. I'm sorry for the long message. It's totally okay, Ari. How long does he have left? I know you said something about 3 months, but is that how long? I think that's how long he's been in for, was 3 months. If you're on Facebook and you want to, have a larger support system, you can totally request to join our Facebook group. Brittany or Josie could probably post the name of it in the comment section, but it is Secret Life of a Prison Wife. You would just search for that in the search bar on Facebook, and you'll find the group there. It'll have like a picture of all of the admins. Or you can also email, which is secretlifeofaPrisonWife@gmail.com. But yeah, we've got like over 700 women that are in the group. Everybody is so supportive and it's fun, and it's just so nice to have people to be able to talk to, like literally all hours of the day. You could go on at 2 a.m. wherever you live and somebody will be on there. Multiple people will be on there to chat with. Or, you can go on there at like 9 o'clock at night and there will be a crap load of people on there. So if you need support and you're looking for a support system, it's a great, great group. And always check out the YouTube videos as well, because that's why we created the channel. Well, I created it originally and then kind of turned it towards the group, just because we wanted to build a prison wife community, or even not even prison wife, prison girlfriend, prison fiance, like, even family members of, those that are incarcerated. Like, it would be so amazing just to build such a huge community, even, in the YouTube community, because there's not really many people at all. I don't think there's any prison wives, or not many of them, that do regular videos. And that's what we're hoping to achieve with these videos that I'm doing. So if you have any comments or like any topics that you'd like, us to do on this channel, definitely comment and let us know, and start working on that. Thank you, India, for the congrats. So I already had my associate's degree in medical billing and coding, and then I have been through like hell and back in my life, you guys. Been through a lot, and I was looking at doing 3 years in prison myself in 2009. I got a hit and run, felony hit and run. I hit somebody on a motorcycle, blacked out, didn't remember anything, and I got house arrest instead. And that kind of like that definitely woke me up. And that's when I realized that that's what I wanted to go back to school for. And that's what I wanted to do, was be a counselor, because I can share all of my personal experiences, whether it's domestic violence, whether it is seeing my friend kill himself when I was in high school, or having a good friend die that was drinking and driving, or, my friends that have gone to prison or jail, or my husband being in prison, like just all of that, I think all of it can help relate to somebody that is going through addiction and recovery, much more than someone that hasn't been through it, but that's just learned it through books, through reading books. Of course, reading books, and it does help, and you do gain a lot of knowledge that way, but nothing gives you more experience than personal experience. If it's the same shit, I cannot stand when the phone has a delay. I get so frustrated trying to get what he is saying that I just say fuck it and keep talking. I know. It's just funny because he thinks I talk over him, and I just let him think it. I don't care. He knows I talk a lot, and he says he likes to listen to me talk, so he can listen to it. Okay. An ode. He's really romantic. Reminds me of an English love story. Yeah, my husband is. You wouldn't think he was, because you look at him and he just looks like a very he's 6'4", like 220. I'm on YouTube Live right now. And he's sleeping, so. No, don't. They're sleeping. Mom, can you please close the door?
I want to get them out, get it out.
I will let them out after I finish this. Please close the door. Thank you. That is my mother. Welcome to my life. Hey, Dan. Welcome. Yeah, I need to figure out how to work this streaming thing, because the comments don't come up on my actual laptop. They freaking don't come up. So I have it on my phone and I'm reading comments on my phone. But yeah, I'm gonna have to end this soon. It's apparently starting to rain outside, and my dogs will melt if they go out in the rain or whatever. So that is what I get for living with my mother. Brittany already knows. Oh my goodness. Hold on. I'm going to read a couple comments here. Okay. 3 hours on weekdays and 2 on weekends. Wisconsin is. Does it come with having an personal? Maybe it's 10 years. Yeah, Erica, we don't have parole in Washington. For state, we don't have parole at all. They do have good time, but he has to do at least 85% of his time. So out of a 28-year sentence, he'll have to do 25 years at least, unless he gets resentenced. But yeah, so that right now it brings him to 10 and a half years left. Once they get down to 4 years, then they're eligible for camp. So they can put in for camp, and usually they get transferred pretty quickly. And when they're at camp, they send them like all over the place. So yeah, it's a little more, gives them a little bit more freedom. Yeah, I think it's not too bad of a delay, I don't think, between my phone and the laptop. But yeah, no, it's not too bad. Before I go and do this live streaming next week, because I'll probably do it like once a week, I'm definitely going to figure out this whole comment thing, so I'm not having to use 2 different pieces of technology to answer your guys' questions and look at your comments. Yeah, I think the state is really similar to feds in a way, but then in certain ways it's not. I know feds, they don't allow family visits at all. And state, obviously they do, but it's only in 4 states. So it's rare. It's Washington, California, New York, and Connecticut. that have family visits, and each state is different as well. Like California, once you're married, you don't have to wait a certain time frame to get those family visits. If you're in Washington and you got married after they were incarcerated, you actually have to wait 3 years. Unless you have children, then it's only 1 year. Um, and if they have less, I want to say less than either less than 3 years, I think, then you only have to wait a year, I think, or 6 months. It's something like that. But yeah, most of the people that I know got married after they were incarcerated. I do know some people that got married before and they only had to wait the 1 year. But then New York, I'm not too sure about New York. I know Connecticut, you actually have to have kids in order to get family visits. So if you don't already have children when you go to prison, then um, then you can't get those family visits, unfortunately. And that's what I've heard. Not 100%. I haven't seen the policy, but that's what I've heard from several people. Yeah, family visits are definitely a plus. It's pretty much what they used to call conjugals back in the day, but totally different now. Instead of just spouses being allowed these family visits, any immediate family can get it. Parents, children, siblings, grandparents, um, step parents, spouses, obviously. And you can do either 24 or 48 hours. Usually it's in a duplex or a structure or like a trailer. And I know they have like 2 bedrooms, I think 2 bathrooms, living room, kitchen, and they've got like game consoles in there. I've heard you bring your own groceries with you for the 2 weeks, and they have like all the utensils and pots and pans and stuff like that. But I know in California, you actually have to purchase food. So you purchase food from like a menu that they give you, and I guess they bring it to you like as you need it or whatever. I don't know really how it works in California with the food, but yeah, Washington, you just bring in your groceries with you, and it's pretty cool deal. My husband's mom has been getting family visits with him since, gosh, for like a year and a half. So she is used to it, but since we'll be getting ours in November, um, she's not going to have any more with him for probably a little while, quite a while. And it depends too on the prison. Some prisons it's every like 4 months. Some of them it's like every 30 days. It just depends on how many duplexes or trailers are on the prison grounds and how many people qualify for those family visits and how many people are even getting those family visits. Yeah, not a problem, India. Like I said, I'm going to try and do this once a week so that way everybody has a chance to come on and chat and ask any questions that you might have. Um, and just catch up. Like I said, leave any comments. If you guys want to see certain videos, totally let me know during this time or anytime really. Such a classy name. Hi, Michael. Michael Menotzes. Sorry if I butchered that. The meaning of this chat is for those women or people that maybe have a family member that's incarcerated to come on and chat. I guess maybe talk to each other about how they're feeling, what they're going through, because it is a completely different process that most people don't understand. And it's important to have a positive support system. So, do you have a loved one that's incarcerated? All right, guys, I don't know how long I've been on here. I'm going to have to definitely experiment with this and know my stuff before I go live next time. But anyway, I do have to get off of here. My husband's probably going to be calling here like in an hour or something. But yeah, and it's like if you guys heard my mom, it's going to be raining soon, so I have to take the dogs out to go to the bathroom. So anyway, I have to do that. So it was a pleasure talking to everybody. If you're new, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please go ahead and subscribe if you enjoyed this live stream and you want to see more of these. Um, Definitely leave comments. Also, if you are looking for support system, like I said, Facebook, search for Secret Life of a Prison Wife on Facebook and request to be added to our support system. We do have over 700 members of wonderful women that are there for support, to like laugh with, cry with, just be there no matter what. There's always people on there to chat with. And yeah, thank you guys for, showing up and not leaving me hanging. I was scared nobody was going to come on, but yeah, I'm super excited. It was a great turnout, and I will talk to you guys all later. Have a great evening, and tomorrow is Friday, so